We are getting this down. We have like cameras working and microphones working and everything. We've been doing this all day. So much fun. And look who's here. We have Scott Hubble, CEO. That is the right name, right? You are the CEO of nuCamp.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. This is going to be fun. Can we start by saying we have what's the name? Baylor Street Pizza here. These guys are amazing. If any of you are in the Austin area and you need a food truck for an event, absolutely amazing. And one of the best things about them, they come from Park Street Pizza, which is in Sugar Creek, Ohio. And I first got to eat their pizza at nuCamp. And you guys know what nuCamp is. I just bet you if you don't, look it up. And they made lemonade to match the Barefoot. How'd they do? Pretty close. You know what it's made from?
Lemonade.
It is lemonade.
A little bit of mossy oak.
Sea algae. Yeah, so very fun. Cheers. All right. So let's start off with, I guess we've talked about how the Barefoot started. We've talked about the development changes, trying to make it Americanized, as they say. Tell me, how did you first get introduced to this idea, Scott?
Sure. I got a message one day from LinkedIn, and it was from Bruce Bannister. And he had contacted me and said, hey, I've got an opportunity to discuss, see if you're interested. And from there, that turned into a conversation, and I was exposed to the Barefoot and Kathy and her story, and Ben integrating her vision, and they had me.
So you fell in love with it just looking at it, looking at the pictures? I mean, honestly, you guys don't make anything like this at the time. I mean, there was nothing like it. So really, you just said, sure, I'd love to build that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't that fast. I did fall in love with it, but getting to we'd love to build it. A lot of things made sense about it. The one thing that was the outlier was it was a brand new technology for us. But everything else, it was diminutive, it was cute. By all accounts, anybody you ever talked to who's ever seen it, it's a unicorn. So those all check the boxes for me. And that's when I took it to the team.
And the team said, you have got to be kidding. Is that what they said?
Well, the rest of my team is very in tune with production and other elements that I'm not very in tune with. And so they made sure to voice their concerns and, hey, this is a big challenge. Hey, we don't necessarily have the resources in-house to pull this off as is. So are we sure we want to do this?
So Kathy was the dreamer with the napkin and you were the dreamer for the US. Is that kind of reasonable to say?
It's kind of reasonable. I'm a reseller of a dream, right?
He hates to be called a dreamer. You like to be the like got all the details figured out. You're the forward thinking, sorting it out. And I'm glad this caught your eye and kind of made you go, But you said the technology was the challenge. I'm thinking, are you talking about seamless one-piece fiberglass? Because that seems to be the bugaboo here.
That's what I'm absolutely talking about, seamless one-piece fiberglass. And that's, the precipice. But even the foundation of general fiberglass construction, we had no experience with. We had partners that were doing some of that for us at the time. But, we owned some molds, but we had never been intricately involved with the process.
Well, I heard somebody say one time, hey, it's a pandemic. You got time to learn something new, right? You didn't have anything else to do during the pandemic, did you?
Oh, no, everything ground to a halt. It was all really easy during the pandemic. But, we had we're in the midst of some operational changes, readdressing our organizational structure and the flow. And, we're still looking at how can we make our current products better. So this was a big challenge to add on top of all of that. And just bobbing and weaving through the pandemic and through everything it had to throw at us. Um, you know, that even played a part in the development of the Barefoot as we select the partner, Bruce Bannister, as then we select the partner for our initial fiberglass setup. And, from pandemic to people not wanting to work because of the fabulous unemployment benefits, to then the subsequent supply chain issues, everything just sort of slowed things down.
So, record time is not what we talk about when we're talking about producing the Barefoot, right? We love this product. I'm sorry, I'm bringing up all of the things that probably don't make it look all that great, but I'm really glad you guys took the time to do it right and to figure out how to make it an amazing trailer that is exactly what I think people want here. So how long did it actually take from when you decided to do it to today?
I guess it depends when you say, when did we decide to do it? But, for sake of that conversation, I'm going to say 3.5 years. Now, I do want to add this, nuCamp, we don't just throw some things together and come up with a new floor plan in 90 days and take it to market. So we're very methodical, and we have processes in place that we follow, including engineering and testing, and just doing it the right way. We're not worried about necessarily hitting the market at the peak. We're worried about hitting the market when we're ready to deliver an exceptional product.
As I understand it, you made several Barefoots before you felt like it was even close. How many prototypes did you make with this?
Including the very first, which we call Proto Zero, we made a total of 4.
Wow, that's a lot of work, especially when you're talking about building a fiberglass shell. Each shell is time consuming, expensive, but it's almost what you have to do to get it right, right?
Absolutely. It's not like building anything else that we do. We can't just order in sidewalls and some roof frames and a floor. And no, at the end, we're getting a shell on a chassis, but there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into it with prep time and then inspection and then just, getting it ready to get on the production line. It's not a part you just pull off the shelf.
So does this production line look very different than anything else that you build?
It really does, because when you take a look at it, number one, it's a J shape. So most of our production lines are just straightforward, a straight line. And this one, if you look at booth 1 or booth 10, you're almost looking at the same thing, because booth 1 is a shell on a chassis. Now booth 10, it's been all polished off, everything's been incorporated. But if you're looking from the mezzanine, you might think, hey, it's all booth 10.
Because it looks the same from the top. That's interesting. Wow, I can't wait to go see the build on these. Can people stop by nuCamp and see the line?
Absolutely. We have 2 tours, Monday through Thursdays, and 1 tour on Friday. So we have tours every single day of the week. We like to schedule them, so call ahead or go on the website and slot your time. But you can also pop in as well. We do accommodate for that. We want you here. It's an experience unto itself.
It's really true. You probably have the most organized, cleanest production floor I have ever seen, and I have seen an awful lot of them. It is impressive, guys. So if you have never done that, maybe if you're trying to figure out where to take your next vacation, go to Amish land, stop in Sugar Creek, and visit nuCamp. It's fun, it's impressive, and you learn a lot. Okay, where do we go from there? I just get rolling and we get lost. When it comes to this Barefoot, now that it is officially launched today, then, what are the questions people are going to be asking? Where do you get one? Can you answer that for them?
Yeah, thanks. I love softballs. That's an easy one for me. So what I'm going to tell you is this. You want to go to our website. You want to go to the dealer locator, and you want to select Barefoot, because it's a pull down, and you select which unit you want to search for. And then you're going to receive the closest dealers that are selling that product. So head to our website first, then you've got telephone numbers, addresses, and just start that conversation with them.
All right. And the next question is, it doesn't sound like you're making a lot of them. I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, but from the sounds of it, people are going to have to wait for a trailer if they order one right now, because they're not out at every dealer at this moment. Is that correct?
That is correct. The unit sitting right next to us is production unit number 1. It is the only one that has left the facility to this point. We do have several departing in the next few weeks. Now, to that point, we do have a limited startup here, and it's going to take some time to get into the flow, both in terms of the fiberglass process as well as the production process of that. And then once we get that going, I think it's probably going to take a number of months, but then we'll be churning a little bit later in this year.
Well, I'm not going to ask you exactly how many you're going to make or how long people will have to wait, because I bet you have a very hard time at this moment answering that question. So I'm not going to put you on the spot. You can thank me later. But they want to ramp it up slowly. They want to do it right. If you guys are interested in the Barefoot, you'd like to put your name down for one, call your closest dealer, and you can, I'm sure, find a way to get on that list, because there is a wait involved. Don't try to pin them down. nuCamp is going to build a quality product, and it's going to take time. So yeah, but all the detailed questions like how much it weighs, the size of the bed, all of those things, even how much it costs. Can you tell me about the MSRP on this?
Sure. The MSRP is, no matter where you buy it from, you're going to be just under $50,000. So we've got dealers out in Seattle, Washington, all the way down into the southern tip of Florida, up into Maine. And so there's trucking involved, there's expenses, there's some fees, but you'll be sub 50 by the time you're all said and done.
All right. And you also have a dealer in Round Rock, Texas, don't you?
There's a rumor that we do.
I'm pretty sure it's true. Pretty sure it's true. So now that it's launched, I can just ask the warm and fuzzy questions. How do you feel? Is this like a relief, or is it a little scary that now that it's out there, you have to live up to expectations? How does it feel?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of everything, to be honest with you. I think I sort of liken it to a pregnancy and the arrival of a baby. Sometimes it's a long, arduous journey that's difficult, but you're really looking forward to it. I love your face right now. Yes, I can't speak from experience, but
thank you for saying that. I was wondering how you had all this insight, although you do have a gaggle of children, by the way.
Yeah, I've got 5 beautiful ones. Hey guys. So, but there's so much joy in seeing the babies grow and investing in them. So, just making life good for them. And that's what I see this, this is the first day of a great life to come for the Barefoot.
All right. I can't wait to just have people come see us and get so excited. We have people sometimes walk through our front doors and they're just like, I'm so excited to be here. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited you're here. Why are you here? And they said, because you have this trailer and I have to see it. I'm like, okay. And it's so exciting to be part of that, isn't it? So, in fact, we just had a conversation with Anne, who is here, and she had a accident with her trailer that was not her fault. And she was just saying, but I love my trailer, so I brought it here to be fixed. And I mean, we understand the passion that's involved in these trailers. We understand why Kathy said, I want one that is exactly what I want. And just how lucky you and I both are to be able to connect to that and have one here today and put it on the market, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is about making dreams come true. It's about people. It's about community. I love this vessel in order to accomplish that. I mean, it's a new vessel. I love the other products that we have, but this is just going to swing the doors open even more.
Apparently, it's about having babies too, I think. But I don't know. We're moving on. And Scott's a family man. I can see how you relate to it that way. All right. Well, anything else we need to hear from nuCamp at this point? Because I don't know, you've done an awesome job.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would ask you guys to do if you're considering a barefoot, do not rely on a website or a flyer alone. Go in and experience it. Stepping into the barefoot in and of itself is an experience. I got that firsthand experience several years ago when Kathy came over, and then we brought a unit over, and I mean it's the same feeling every time I step in as I had the first time. It's just so awesome. And I'd love everybody to experience that same feeling.
Well, I would too. And if you would like to hear more about the Barefoot from Kathy, from Ben, Bruce, and even Scott, we will have a podcast out on RV Small Talk. And that is the podcast that you can find on any podcast player. Princess Craft RV here in Round Rock puts it out. But we spent some time really diving into all the details of how the Barefoot came about. So feel free to check that out if you want to hear more. And thank you, Scott, for joining us. Thanks for the opportunity to premiere the Barefoot here at Princess Craft. And thanks for just taking up the project here in the U.S. and getting it built.
100%. It's my privilege to be here and to share this day with the team from over the pond and the team here at Round Rock, Princess Craft, as well as nuCamp.
Thank you, guys.